Thank you. So, a long time ago, I was told about a magical place where dreams come true. An oasis of cheap rent, limitless job opportunities, an incredible art and music scene where the weather is always perfect. The mecca of all that's cool and hip and now, a place called Austin, Texas. Back in 2009, I was living in Harrisburg and working as a civil servant, which is just as awful as it sounds. And when I saw the documentary Man on Wire, I decided that it was time to make another poor life decision and quit my stable state job and move cross country to that place where dreams come true. So the next day I gave my notice, and 2 weeks after that I had sold everything that I owned and was driving cross country to Texas. During my road trip, I scored an internship, supposedly life-changing internship, at an internationally renowned, powerful film organization, working as a VIP concierge for the biggest genre film festival there is. The festival was run by a theater chain famous for starting the fad of dinner and beer at the movies. And on my first day there, some staff members invited me to go skinny dipping at Barton Springs Pool late at night after shift. And there I was, this dorky and awkward film geek, swimming naked with far more attractive dorky film geeks. And I'm a little short and hairy and a little insecure about that, but one of those attractive naked female film geeks was telling me how beautiful I was, and for the first time in my life I felt accepted, like I belonged, I was happy. My whole life had been leading up to me moving to Austin, and I was making friends quickly, going to art events. Everyone was so friendly, so not Philadelphian. And before I knew it, I was dating this incredible Mexican woman who was a really talented photographer, and just like that Lego movie, everything was awesome. And I was slaying it at my internship. The festival was known for its wild parties and events, and one of those events is where they pair film critics with directors, have them debate topics, and then box, like for real boxing. And at the time, there was a notorious bad filmmaker who was there screening his new awful film, and I too was a film critic who wrote for a website that sponsored that festival, which is how I got that internship, and I actually boxed in college. So the organizers asked me if I would write a review for this new film and box the famous filmmaker, and I was honored, so I started training during my nights off from work. But before that big event, I had dinner or lunch with the owner of the theater and head of the film festival, and I'll never forget what he told me. He said, "Greg, everyone is telling me fantastic things about you. My PR people tell me you're a brilliant writer. My programmers and curators are telling me you really know your stuff. My logistics team is telling me you can handle pressure. There's a lot of big job opportunities opening here, and I think you'll fit nicely in them. But I want to warn you, look around at all these people, tending bar, waiting tables, washing dishes. I have, 100 employees here, maybe 300 in the company. They're all filmmakers and film lovers. I have food runners who have MFAs. I have busboys who won awards at Sundance. And they're all working here. They've been here for years, waiting and hoping for an opportunity, like the one that you just got, and you've only been here for a month. Not everyone is going to be your friend here. There's going to be a lot of staff that's jealous of you and will spite you whether you know it or not." That turned out to be an omen. A few days later was the night of the big event, and I showed up with my boxing gear, and one of the event organizers looked at me deadpan and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm ready to box." And he says, "What makes you think you're boxing at our premiere event? You asked me to, you told me to. You're just the intern. You thought we were serious?" And in that moment, I was 14 again, back at Upper Darby High School, pranked, humiliated, and rejected. And I don't think I'm that naive. I'm from Philly. I know when someone's fucking with me, and I had no idea these people had been fucking with me. And these people who had been so friendly and welcoming at the beginning were now gawking at me like a geek show. But I swallowed my pride and I moved on, and I came to my unpaid work shift the next day, and my supervisor came to me and said that I was being let go, fired from my internship. It was the first time I had ever been fired in my life, and now I was being fired from my dream job. Why? She claimed that I didn't show up to a shift that I never knew I was signed up for. Did I mention that it was my supervisor's best friend who I supposedly stole the internship from? I tried to, defend myself to the owner of the theater, but this woman, the supervisor, had been with the company for 10 years. It was her word against mine. So I had been kicked out and blacklisted from the best thing that ever happened to me. And I was devastated, but I still had that awesome photographer girlfriend, and we were gonna go to a party the next night, and I really needed that positive distraction, but the day of, she texted me telling me that she can't make it to the party and I should probably skip it. It was a cryptic message, but I went anyway, and she was there making out with someone else, so once again, rejected and humiliated. And a few days later, the woman who I rented a room from told me she got engaged, her fiance was moving in, and I had to move out with almost no notice, and before I knew it, I was living out of the back of my car while working a mailroom job. Dreams don't come true in Austin, they die there. It is the Midwest Williamsburg. So I came back to Philadelphia, and I have to say, I have a love-hate relationship with this town, but it is my home. And people might be assholes here, but at least you know where you stand with an asshole. There's no unwelcome surprises. And, the grass is always greener on the other side, and you don't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. And I learned that I needed to be here building my own community, because there's tons of awesome things happening in Philadelphia, even if it's not exactly a sweet dream city. But you know what? Fuck Austin, Texas, even if half of you are still dreaming about moving there. Thank you.